Buenos días, bienvenidos a la séptima semana, ya casi terminamos, pero vamos a trabajar en capítulo 5. Continuemos de trabajar porque empezamos la semana pasada. So welcome to week 7. We're going to continue with capítulo 5, chapter 5. Okay, and as you enter into semana 7, you should be watching the video that will be posted here. Okay. Now, our objetivos y metas for this week, okay, our specific objectives are that you're going to learn to be able to ask and tell about a variety of topics using pronouns to refer to both direct as well as indirect objects. So you need to make sure you're clear on what each one is, the function in the sentence. Students will be able to politely tell someone to do something using formal commands, as well as communicate instructions in clear and simple language, because many times we use command forms as we're giving instructions. Okay, you'll also be able to practice asking patients to repeat instructions, whether an interpreter is used or not, as a, quote, safe check on patient understanding. You'll also be able to answer questions such as when and to what degree by using adverbs, and be able to make some comparisons, comparing people, places, things, using a variety of structures. Okay, so obviously the first thing you're doing is watching this video, okay, and then you will be reading the textbook, the appropriate pages, and doing the My Spanish Lab activities. There is a quiz on My Spanish Lab. Okay, you will log in 2 hours of your language and cultural contact. Now, on this Sunday, what is due, other than the quizzes, will be Diálogo 8 and your second language and cultural contact presentation. The other thing you need to do is make sure you sign up for the final oral exam, which will be the next week, February 26th and 27th, the last 2 days of class. Okay? So, here's the Semana 7 plan, and again, as in each week, it's in 2 places. Okay. And so, as I mentioned, we're going to be covering pages 142 through 160 of Capítulo 5. You're going to turn in your language and cultural contact presentation, do the quiz, make sure you sign up for the oral exam, and Dialogue 8, Diálogo 8 is due this week on February 25th. So if I click on the language and cultural contact presentation, okay, that is going to bring me here where I have the instructions and the rubric that will be used. Okay, and you will click on here, and when you go into this link, you're going to create a thread. And then you'll be able to post your information. Okay, the other information in this folder is, again, the same example I had for the first time around, but again, it's very long, so you want to make sure you limit yours to 5 minutes, and please, no longer than 7 minutes. Okay? And remember that what you are doing is that you are doing a voiced over PowerPoint in which you are doing a summary of what you did during your contact hours. You are letting us know some new vocabulary that was learned and some cultural practices and nuances that you observed, and also make some comparisons with your own culture. Okay? And this will, again, be done in English like it was the first time. Okay? So if I go back to Semana 7, okay, the next thing I have is Diálogo 8. So when I click on Diálogo 8 link, okay, our situation here is a diálogo entre un enfermero or una enfermera y un o una joven paciente colombiana con dolor de espalda. Okay, so one person, the first time around, one person's going to be the nurse working with a young Colombian man or woman who's experiencing back pain. So, again, you'll run through this twice as you have all in all the others. You'll have the appropriate greetings, the introductions, the nurse will give his or her full name, and ask the patient for his or her name, how to spell his or her last name only. Find out how he or she feels today and what's hurting, how long his or her back has been hurting, if anything else is hurting. And this time around, you're actually given certain things to say. You need to answer that their feet are hurting when they have to be on their feet all day. Finding out what's bothering them, well, it happens to be a swelling in their ankles. And what's worrying them, his or her children. Okay, now tell your patient it seems to you, very important, it seems to you that he or she needs to speak with a doctor. And the patient needs to agree, basically. Okay, make sure you're using appropriate vocabulary, that you are commenting appropriately when others are speaking. Okay. And this is going to be our last dialogo. Okay, so when we're done with that, we have the sign up for the final oral in the next week, which will actually open up earlier. Okay, that folder will open up in the middle of next week. Okay. The following link is to sign up. You need to sign up before February 22nd, as the exams are the 26th and 27th. Again, you'll sign up on my calendar, and you need to let me know ASAP, as soon as possible, if those times don't work for you, so we can try to find an alternate meeting time. Okay. Now, if you sign up after February 22nd, I cannot guarantee availability during appointment slots that are not claimed. So you need to, contact me as soon as possible. Okay? And in the 7.5 Semana 7.5, you will see the actual study guide for the oral exam. Okay. Now, the last thing is the recursos, and if I click on the recursos link, I'm given ejemplo de un diálogo. So here's a brief video with another example of a dialogue so that you can help you in the future. And here's an extra activity working with reflexive verbs. Okay. So that takes us to the end of Semana 7. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know.